Good morning, everybody. This is our astrology forecast for May 11th, 2025. We have a few things going on today, which are more positive. A mix of things. Moon is in Scorpio, which has us reaching for the underneath or for substance. Moon does come into a square to Mars. This heightens feelings and it heightens reactivity. We don't always think before we emote, before we mobilize our feelings. With a Moon, Mars, hard aspect, we tend to go off without a lot of justification and have to backpedal. So watch your temper because you can embarrass yourself with that particular square. It brings out kind of the infantile nature within us to the extent that it already exists. And a couple of good parallels, which are conjunctions, just like conjunctions. You just arrive at a parallel or a contraparallel using declination, but it is the same energy. In my opinion, as an astrologer, parallels and contraparallels are slightly weaker than traditional Ptolemaic conjunction or opposition, but you get the same kind of effect, and there is no consensus on that. It depends on which astrologer you ask. So we have a parallel between Mars and Uranus, which makes it easy for us to act on our own personal willpower. Does it ever make it easy? We can be more impulsive with what we initiate, what we go towards. It is going to add to the possibility that we'll go off like a bit of an emotional geyser with the Moon in a square to Mars, because we do have this feeling of personal entitlement. I said personal entitlement. That comes in with Mars, Uranus aspects. A parallel isn't the worst relationship between the two of them, but you know what? It still makes us a little bit stinky. Kind of like Sunrise, my Pomeranian. I have three. I have three daughter Pomeranians. Sunrise does what she wants. The other two girls, they do what they're told most of the time. Sunrise just sits and looks at you. Yeah. I have to go and pick her up. I have to extend myself. I have to expend extra energy. Because Sunrise does what she wants to do. That's what we can cause today. We can cause people around us to have to put in extra effort, expend more energy, pick up some of our slack. Because with Mars-Uranus contact, we do what we want to do in the moment, even if we leave other people to pick up the pieces, the slack, do our work. We feel like, well, that's what had to happen. I mean, I was called to a higher purpose. I mean, I had to go smoke pot behind the shed. It felt good to me. And so we have to use our discernment when it comes to the types of liberation, the types of things we say yes or no to. Sometimes we're totally justified in cutting it out and saying, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Screw y'all. And other times, that is not going to be the way to handle things. Hey, Michael. Use your discernment. Don't just be an idiot because you can get away with it, because we might be able to get away with things with Mars Uranus stuff, but that doesn't mean that it's in your best interest, especially in the best interest of your character. If you can get away with something, just can get away with it, you are probably suffering from some level of an integrity problem. The other thing going on is we have a parallel between Mercury and Chiron. Makes it easier for us to understand what something is, to interpret things in a more sensitive, holistic way. And it can help us to have healing conversations, exchanges, daily life can have a little bit of a softer tone to it because we're more concerned with healing, cooperation, wholeness rather than getting, well, the getting's good. This is a balance to the stinkiness that we can experience with Mars Uranus stuff. This can have us thinking twice when it comes to getting away with things that we may be able to push the envelope and get away with, but should we? Should we?